Welcome back to another episode of Macca's Motors. I'm Macca and this is my motor. Today we're going to do a complete teardown and rebuild of this Yamaha DT175 engine. What we're looking at here is an 175cc air-cooled two-stroke engine developed by Yamaha in the 1970s. When it was new, it developed 16 horsepower and 9 Newton meters of torque with a Mikuni 24mm carburetor. The engine redline sits at 7,000 RPM, allowing a top speed of 105 kilometers an hour with a tailwind. This engine has not run in a very long time, so I'm going to tear it down and investigate the components. So I've just finished stripping the engine and let me tell you, I'm pretty pleasantly surprised with what I've found. I'll show you what I mean. So starting right from the top, we've got our cylinder head chamber over here. Obviously I'm going to replace the spark plug. Other than that, it's pretty intact. It passed a leak test. I've just filled it up with water, make sure that nothing goes past the spark plug threads over there. So I'm happy with that. I'm pretty sure that is going to seal up our cylinder head nice and efficiently. Speaking of which, here's our cylinder head over here. I've inspected the bore over here. Now there's no serious pitting or corrosion on it, which is so surprising being that this engine has sat for so long. I'm going to give it a nice, quick, basic hone. And here we go, moving into the business of the DT175. So, obviously, we have our piston. There's no cracks. No rust, no corrosion, no burrs, nothing like that. I do plan to replace these piston rings here. That should come in the engine rebuild kit. But other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with the condition of the gudgeon pin, the bearings, both at the top and the bottom, and even looking down at that crankshaft. Like, it's nice and shiny, not seeing anything horrific for the moment. The gearbox is in relatively good condition over here. I'm so surprised that it looks so clean inside from sitting for so long. I thought this thing was going to be an absolute boat anchor when I was tearing it apart. That being said, we've got some consumable items over here. First of all, the reed valve. These are nice and cheap, easy to come across, so I'm going to throw that out and get a new one. Likewise with the carburetor. This is a Mikuni 24mm unit. Look, this is the most complicated part of the engine, filled with diaphragms, needles and seats, all the above, which one, I can't be bothered to actually do. Two, I'll put it together wrong, incorrectly anyway, and you can get these on eBay for around $50. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the entire unit. Now I get to do something I've been looking forward to doing all week. I'm gonna call the part shop girl. So keen for this.
Hello, part shop.
G'day, it's Macca here. I was just wondering if you had any engine rebuild kits for a Yamaha DT175.
Wait, who's this?
It's Macca from Macca's Motors.
Are you that guy who's been asking me to speak to?
What? No. That.
You are disgusting.
But is there any?
Disgusting.
Are there any rebuild kits or? Oh, she'll have some rebuild kits. They'll have it. So, a bit's happened since last time. So the engine's been fully reassembled and sandblasted. I reassembled the engine with the old seals so that any of the new seals and gaskets that I bought for the engine would not be damaged during the sandblasting process. And also so they wouldn't be damaged when I was painting the engine too. So the engine's had a nice quick sandblast. I want to give a big shout out to my mate Brownie for helping me out with the sandblasting. Of course it's not perfect. If this was a CR500 or something, I'd like take the time to get it properly powder coated, but this is a nice quick, cheap and easy project. Just give it a nice quick sandblast and we'll slap some paint on it right now. Now that the engine is no longer an eyesore, it's time to install the gaskets. I'm scraping off the old gaskets using a razor blade so that the mounting surfaces are nice and smooth. To install the piston rings, I'm going to gently apply them to the piston. Be careful when stretching them over the piston and check that they're not bound up in their slots. Be sure to check that the ring gap is aligned with the small marks in the piston. I'm applying a light coat of oil to the cylinder bore and the piston. This will make installation of the cylinder smoother and prevent damage to the bore. Patience is required when inserting the piston inside the cylinder. I'm using my hands to compress the piston rings and I'm gently rotating the cylinder back and forth whilst pushing down on the piston. It took some persistence, but I got there in the end. With the cylinder installed, I can now torque the cylinder bolts to spec.
Click. Click.
The original motor was fit with a 16 tooth sprocket. I'm fitting a 17 tooth sprocket to help out the little DT on the open roads. The front sprocket's not the only new component though. We're waving goodbye to our old carburetor in favour of this brand new 28mm carburetor. This thing will go like the clappers. And now to put a button on the engine rebuild, we've got a brand new spark plug. It's OEM spec, and I've put a layer of copper anti-seize on it before installation. Can't believe this is actually the final piece of this engine rebuild. It's all come together. Except for, of course, for like new fasteners, air filter, other stuff. People will beat me up in the comments. It's all good though. We're always on the pursuit of perfection here at Macca's Motors. Thank you all so much for tuning in for this engine rebuild. If you enjoyed that, please give the video a like and subscribe. This engine is now ready to run up. Or we can take our frame, clean it up, take the rust off, paint it, install the engine, and then run it up or pop it together. Stay tuned.